Thank you, Mr. Kango. Now, sir, before I come to you, sir, I would probably like to request Mr. Gopal Nanda to speak on the role of CAG in attacking in attacking corruption in the society or in the government system.
All of you are sitting and enjoying, air-conditioned room. But do you know there is a contribution of voltage stabilizer? Nobody feels the presence of voltage stabilizer. This auditing job is like a voltage stabilizer. When the voltage goes up and the greed and temptation goes up, word of caution comes from the stabilizer. Stop it. Gentlemen, we may not feel the presence of CAG, but if you close the office, you feel their absence. That is very important. You see, after long years, 150 years, I will compliment all of you. You are celebrating in a befitting manner by exposing the biggest scam of the history of India. 1,76,000 crores, which is equal to 8 times our health budget and 3 times our education budget, 3% of our GDP, and equal to our defense budget. That you have been exposed. But here I tell you, don't expect much from the parliament or the legislature, where 76 people are sitting with serious criminal records. Do you think they will appreciate your records? Don't expect they will appreciate your records. Sincerity is lacking. Whatever is being done due to pressure from the public with the hope of getting votes next time, that is the only consideration for which now a law is going to be enacted. But regarding its corruption part, I will tell you, CAG plays a very important role in prevention of corruption. You see, auditing itself has a preventive effect on the people. Mr. Hota categorized some categories of public servant. I have my own categories from corruption angle. The first is a group, they are honest because of their sanskar. But among the honest, there are 3 categories. There are egoistic honest people. There are timid honest people. The third is sensible or rational. And egoistic people, they don't care for audit. I am honest. I don't bother. I have done a favor to the country by joining an All India service. That is their attitude. They don't bother about auditing. They say vigilance, unnecessary infringement in our freedom. They are also as bad as a corrupt man. Second is timid. If secretary is timid, he will succumb to the pressure and do whatever the minister desires. If you permit, I will give one example. I think one IAS officer told me when he was additional secretary in a particular department, ministry. There was a heavy purchase of a few thousand crores. When the file came to him, he just gave a note of 3 lines, Oriya officer. You see, there are only 2 companies in the world. They supply these items. And they have brand name. Whatever the price they quote, that has to be accepted. This officer, with courage and conviction, gave a note. Let us get a certificate from the companies that they have not sold this item to any other country at a lesser price than this. If at all it is found subsequently, they have to pay a penalty. Secretary called him, banged him. Why have you written this? Minister is unhappy. But eventually, Cabinet Secretary and Prime Minister approved it. And he told me, country saved 1,300 crores. Who could have taken that money? So here I will tell you, audit has very important role to play to ensure healthy competition, perfect tendering. And without audit, I tell you, everything will go haywire. Things will be out of control. Our entire budget will be misappropriated. What to speak of 30%. So they are playing very important role. As an investigator, I am always grateful to the audit. But only one thing I will point out. You see, there is no proper coordination between auditing and enforcement agencies. Even to get a copy of the AG's report, we try and contact somebody in AG's office and get a copy. That is not done. We should have proper coordination between AG, Vigilance, CBI, Central Vigilance Commission, and all the enforcement agencies so that we can positively contribute to prevention as well as detection of crime. Regarding categories of employees, I forgot one thing. There is another category. You see, they are called corrupt with conviction. Whatever may come, they will do corruption because we have trapped people thrice. What does it mean? They have done hat-trick in being trapped. And you see, that is one category. You cannot correct them. No law, no rule can correct them. But there are others, I tell you, they are all fence-sitters. Fence-sitters, they are watching. They just watch whether auditing is properly being done, whether vigilance is active or not, whether CBI is watching. If they feel they are relaxed, they are not doing their job properly, they will jump toward that side and make money. Once auditing is strong, vigilance is active, CBI is active, they will be on the correct side. So that is the purpose of law. Law only will have effect on these people, but what is the, what we are doing in this country? How many people are being punished, go to the jail? Only you find below poverty line prisoners, there is hardly any white collar criminal. That clearly indicates it is a failure.
So,
everything is symbolic to satisfy the people, that's all.
No, sir, while I would request Mr. J.K. Mahapatra, Principal Secretary Finance, to react to this particular portion. Let me react a little bit to Mr. Kanungo's point. In the case of the 2G, I would just like to set the record straight that since there was no auction held, the right price is not known to anybody because the market has not discovered it. So it had to be estimated. In economics, the estimation is a process, is a technical scientific process which is available. This estimation has been done in the CAG's 2G report in 4 ways, ranging from 48,000 crores to about 1,76,000 crores. The estimation that was done by Mr. R.P. Singh was based on inflation criteria of whatever crore to 2,645. A point which comes to mind is that if the inflation was the criteria for estimating, the government of India itself did not use inflation as the criteria for setting the reserve price for 3G. It tried to estimate the market rate and fix it at 67 to 68,000 crores and got about 1.45 crores in that. Just to set the record straight.
I think so many issues have been thrown up that it's very difficult to respond. But I'll specifically respond to or react to a couple of issues that have been raised. About the follow-up action on the CAG's report. I think that's a very, very important question because reports come. Media carries the stories for quite a few days. What happens to those reports? I think the AG very rightly mentioned that the CAG's report actually goes to an institution called Public Accounts Committee of the Legislature, both at the state level and at the central level. Now, what happens in the PAC? Now, if PAC could fundamentally change its orientation to the CAG's report, I think we could see far more vigorous action. Mr. Patnaik and Mr. Singh will bear me out. Today, in 2011, we keep discussing reports of 1996. All the perpetrators of the misdeeds or acts of omission and commission, they have gone. The current secretary is clueless about what happened. It's very difficult to comment on what circumstances led to what kind of decision making. So if the CAG and the Public Accounts Committee and the executive together could devise a system whereby contemporary reports are taken up, just the way the 3G or 2G report is being taken up, and then we could really fix responsibility. Not when we do a postmortem of 1996 report. Today, Orissa, not only in Orissa, in any state you go, we are just discussing more than decade-old reports. Nothing happened. Nothing is going to come about in this. So we need to change orientation. We must pick up contemporary issues right then and there. Fellows who are involved in decision making, they can be called, they can be questioned, and we can broad-base the process of examination. Experts need to, if required, they can be brought in for investigation. That's one comment I would like to make, because otherwise reports will come, reports will be taken up for examination after 10 years or 15 years, and nothing is going to happen. And same thing happens, pardon me, Mr. Nanda, in case of vigilance also the same thing is happening.